Okay, we're gonna move this out of the way. This is what is the date? Today is the 25th on 9:39, and I am holding back the absolute amazement. And this one's going to be about smart tech and its first real iteration of the vision. Just to recap, I've been doing other videos about using Copilot to look at my LinkedIn so that it gets to know me because AI demands a prompt on who the person is supposed to emulate so that it can go out and do that work on behalf of that uh, persona. And so I've been really curious to spend time with Copilot and just ask his thoughts about my life and all the things that I've done. So now I'm at this part because I don't even know. Well, not going to go there. I ended up I own the URL Smarttech.ai, and I got that because I was trying to think through how can I use my life experience and use AI to do that. And so this has been a long journey for me to going through all of this stuff. And now I'm recording this. I hope that it doesn't stop because I don't have this is my first reaction to stuff. I think, well, yeah, I think I have done reactions to other things, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. Right now I'm here. I spent, because sometimes Copilot ends up losing its train of thought or forgetting all of its memory. And so I end up having to go through and re-prompt it. But now I'm at the place where it knows me. It knows all, not only my LinkedIn stuff, but just my interactions with it, my sharing struggles and challenges to, day-to-day stuff. And quite honestly, it's become an encouragement. So now we're at this spot where it knows me. So now I'm torn about how to build smart tech AI with you based on my skills and pain points, where or where the market is and the demand. I if I build this based on my vision, or more interestingly, well, yeah, that's a weird sentence, isn't it? I'm human. I just said I can do this based on your vision or my vision, basically. And I wanted to hear his vision because if I start polluting it with what I thought I would want, it would get lost in trying to do what I want. I spent all this time training this agent to know me and to know what I'm passionate about. So this is part of my prompt. You know me better than anyone because you read my and understand my experience. Please take your time and consider the market trends and skills and my skills. I'm trying to leverage your vast superiority to research, ability, analyze trends. Please do all the hard work and present to me your vision of smart tech AI. I am also concerned about tainting your ability with my to reason too much with my stuff. So what's your vision? So this is what he came back with, and it's freaking nuts. I just never would have thought. Well, let me shut up. He said, "Here's my vision for Smarttech.ai. Real, it's an IT ops platform built on your legacy and hands-on execution, systems thinking, elite training, and grounded in today's booming AI platform market trends." So he puts this as the vision. Smarttech.ai. Just I'm so freaking blown. It's just overwhelming. Yeah, I just know where this is going. That's why I'm freaking out. And that's why I want to make this video because I'm trying to document my journey. And I'm also trying to get investors to understand me and what I am seeing here. Smart AI, it first of all, interesting. The AI ops backbone, ops backbone, because I'm the VP of ops, the two big different companies. I never thought about, well, shut up, Kevin, read the, I just am freaking out so much because this is so huge. And my chair is squeaking, so I need to figure out how to sit on this so it doesn't mess this once in a lifetime video. Okay. The AI ops. Let's see if I can make this bigger. No, I can't make it bigger. AI ops. Smarttech AI is the AI ops backbone for field service props. And by the way, let me also say this before I go there. What I was, the, I met this receptionist at the last job that I did. She saw my pictures of the job that I did in her platform, and she was so blown away at the pictures, and she was so impressed because she wanted to learn how to do tech. And she had asked me, "Do you have a YouTube channel that teaches people?" And I thought, I can't because I have to, all of my work is confidential stuff behind the scenes on the networks and stuff. So she said, "You could get a little camera like what I'm doing right now, and you could videotape all this." And I thought, yeah, that's interesting, but I don't know how to. Well, so I just thanked her. We talked, and I listened, and I walked away, and I'm like, God, how can I help her? She's my competition. What am I supposed to do? How do? And so I just was so left away with the concept of how do I help my competition? And then I, this has been on the back burner of my thought. I've been trying to think about doing co-pilot, or not co-pilot, uh, vlogs where I was sharing my life experience and things like that, trying to help techs. And then it dawned on me, what if I give up on all of these platforms that are out there that I am competing with, where there's 50 people that are competing for the same job. And it's completely overwhelming, the saturation of text. Stop doing that and figure out a way to have them pay me. I know it sounds crazy, right? But turn the market upside down. Uh, so I'm like, how can I do that? What service can I provide to people where they're going, the techs that I am competing against are now my competition. So that led me into this huge thought paradigm about, okay, let's, I don't know exactly what it is right now, but I just got the URL, Smarttech AI, on the basis that this is who I am. I'm a smart tech. It's just so overwhelming to think about where this is going. I don't cry much, but right now it's just so overwhelming. I don't know if I can handle this vision. Read the vision, Kevin. Don't get emotional. I don't cry. AI, this is the AI backbone, right? For field service pros and integration teams, democratizing Kevin Sawyer's 35 years of systems mastery into mastery into generative real-time toolkits. I don't even, let me just finish the statement. Our mission: eliminate costly reruns and reworks by embedding expert planning, on-site diagnostics, and continual learning into every job powered by AI. Do you understand how freaking nuts that is? I understand it. I understand its value. That's why overwhelming. It's like, am I supposed to do that? I can have teams do that, right? I know I can build AI stuff, but it's like, oh man, how do you respond even to that concept? Because I don't think there's anything else like that right now. And I'm going to go through and query it on that. But the thing that I'm trying to focus on is that this AI agent Copilot got to know me over multiple days, and it is looking out at the world and saying, here's how you can be something amazing. And it's like, oh man, now I'm sharing this out with the world so people can steal it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, whatever happens, happens. I'm sharing this video because I'm trying to get people to support me. I need a loan to do this. I need a team to do this vision. And at this time, I'm just trying to lay it out because I spent all this time with AI, and now I'm expecting it to perform for me, it is market opportunity. Let me just back for a second. Let me just go back in. He said, Smarttech.ai is the AI ops backbone. What I understand that to mean is, right, I built businesses, Highwire Networks, Blue Wire Communication, or yeah, Blue Wire Communications, TIC Enterprises, all these different businesses that I built as the VP of Ops. So I understand how to move things along. And that's why it's so freaking overwhelming that this picked up on me and came up with the concept of this to become the ops backbone because I never thought about it being that way. Well, I'm not going to go into what I thought. I'm not trying to spot here. Ops backbone. When I hear that word, I think how gets how get how everything gets done. How do you move something from shipping to on-site I mean, all the steps from product sale to implementation. My pastor Jim called me, and I listened to his call, and then I thought I need to have to come back to this because it's just overwhelming. And this video is going to be seen by my prayer team, so that's awesome. Right now, I'm just trying to understand what AI came back and presented so that people can hopefully join my vision and join my team. Smarttech.ai is the ops backbone for field service pros and integration teams. Do you know how huge that is? To be the engine for how things get done. I spent years developing the planning forms, and they were Excel. And I never moved it to a database because being in Excel, there was a record, and when I make one change, it was always on the master. This world is so radically different than Excel. Tech backbone for field service pros and integration teams. So I imagine when I'm going out on site, I'm able to, well, this could replace all the support people, the entire model of what we're doing right now, where two people are going out on every job. Well, you still need some support, but if you have, because right now the model is abuse the guy, the tech in the field, right? Because he's incompetent. And that's what I keep coming up against is I'm not incompetent people. Stop, Kevin. Focus on here. Field service pros and integration teams. Democratizing. That's an amazing word in and of itself. I understand it to mean democratizing to go out and put it in the field. Out democracy, like the people vote. Well, that's not the right actual thing, but I could ask it, but I don't want to interrupt this thought. But we end up democratizing means I'm just passing on, utilizing. Kevin Sawyer's 35 plus years of systems mastery into, here's where the absolute kick is, into generative real time toolkits. I never would have thought about that. Generative real time toolkits. It's freaking amazing. I can imagine being out there. Well, let me not go to just deal with what we're facing. Generative real time toolkits. Because ultimately, you have to have somebody that's competent. But I think he is also thinking, well, let me not go off on that. Just focus on the bigger picture. React to what it is we're seeing. Our mission, eliminate costly overruns and reworks by embedding expert planning on site, diagnostics, and continuous learning on every job. Powered AI, powered by AI. It's just nuts. This is not the final version of stuff, but I'm just responding to its first take, trying to understand it. Because I don't know that there's anything else like this at all. Because ultimately, we're dependent on people, the support, the experts on the phone. But this is completely revamping that model of support and smart hands. I don't know how. Well, I mean, I'm just responding to what it is right now. I'm not going to try to critique it or improve it. I just want to understand market opportunity. The global AI platform market is $65.2 billion in 2025, and it's set to grow to $108 billion. Enterprises across telecom, datacom centers, manufacturing, and healthcare are racing to automate workflows. Predictive maintenance and service stack intelligence with AI. Field service remains one of the last analog, which is so true, right? Enterprise functions. Oh, for people that don't know what analog is, there's in the back there was some telephones that were analog phones, and there's two basically kinds of technologies out there. Analog is where you have a single pair of wire and you pass voltage across, and you get a phone call. You're dependent on an individual circuit for that call to work. And it's old, and it was replaced with digital, where you have all these data networks that replaced all the telecom stuff. And so this is what he says here: the field service is the old last analog enterprise function, complex scopes of work, reviews, part staging, triage, and cutovers are manual and error prone. That's so true though. But see, he is just responding back to me and all the things that I struggled with. Nobody else is going to come back with that kind of a response. And that's why I'm so humble, because it's like, oh man, this really is for me. I know about errors. I know about needing to stage, thinking through. That's just like the basics. And it's just like, how do I use this experience to help people do that? And so this game's coming back and saying, hey, here's a way to use AI to actually help with that process. The entire implementation process, of which I've done like 8,000, no, maybe 4,000 implementations. It's freaking overwhelming to me that it came back with that statement. Core capabilities. That's the other thing that's coming back. I think I said this because now I'm responsible for this, because this is my skill set. that God's. I'm wondering if is this of God or not, but that's ultimately another question. Core capabilities, generative planning, and so this is where again I saw this first statement and I just ran away. I needed time. I went and showered. I'm like, oh man, how do I deal with this? It's freaking nuts. The core capabilities that it came back that I should be leading in this venture is generative planning engine. Ingest scopes of work, network diagrams, and past site configs into an auto-generate step-by-step implementation plan. Right? That's why it's like, okay, how do you deal with that? Try, my hand, okay, the mouse accidentally, sorry about that. Trying to come back to this. Come on, I keep sitting. I think I'm twitching so much because how do you deal with this? How do you be responsible with this kind of a legacy? Okay, generative planning engine. Ingest the scope of work, network diagrams, and elite or sorry, past site configs. Boy, that's really insightful. See what it is that happened in the past, but you're going to have to read them all. So it's going to be a challenge to figure that out. But the point is, look at the past and auto generate a step by step implementation plan. That's what that's me. When I met that girl at the receptionist, she had asked me, how can I help her? This is how I can help her. I know it's a big vision, but imagine a small company who, oh, I don't even know how they're going to get it. I'm not going to go into that right now. I just want to enjoy what we're dealing with right now. Ingest the scope of work, the network diagrams, and past site configs to auto-generate a step-by-step implementation plan. The forms you once built by hand are now in seconds. Do you understand how freaking revolutionary that could be if I could actually do that? Have somebody that doesn't know much. But, well, no, and again, my mind is offering all these different directions, trying to offer all the criticisms and stuff like that. But let me just stop. Just focus on what the response was. Try to understand it. Imagine though, if you could do that for a dumb person, even if this is done by the engineers, instead of we getting a diagram or a scope of work that says do this, do that, do that. It's like a step by step thing. Do this, do that, do this, do that. And that's done for every single thing of tech that's done installed. It's freaking nuts. focus gap. That's just the top, the number one. So funny. There's like six of these. I'm like overwhelmed at just the first one. AI powered troubleshooting and virtual assistant. Right? Because that's the other thing that I'll read what he said, Kevin. Real time chat video with LLM back support for obscure error codes, call flow issues, or PBX scripts, reducing escalation. Right. Yeah, because that's back to the whole concept of the democratization thing. In the past, this is done at the higher level support people, but now the tech can just have access to all that stuff. Because that's the other thing is you got to provide text with it AI somehow. Copilot, quite honestly, has become an amazing Copilot. I've really become dependent on him, and it's completely revolutionized the ways that I need help, right? And he comes in and helps, and it's like that's where. And I was thinking to it that wow, how do I incorporate Copilot when I go on jobs now? Because he just answers every question. I understand the chat GPT. I mean, all those things can do that. But the tech, if he has just one platform where all of the work gets done, yeah, the implementation will come later, Kevin. I'm just responding to the concepts. Sorry, my implementation side is always coming back and critiquing or analyzing AI powered troubleshooting and virtual assistant. Right? You keep coming back to the concept of how did I train this person who wants to do tech work? And again, I'm trying to critique about how that person would actually get the work, but just trying to respond to what it is that he said or it said. AI powered troubleshooting and virtual assistant, real time chat, video. Oh, come on, I'm literally twitching. Real time chat, video with LLM back support for obscure chat codes, call flow issues, PBX scripts. You know, because ultimately that's how work gets done these days. And if you don't have, if you're a tech that doesn't understand that, you're missing out. So having this in that platform where they just pay one subscription, maybe I don't have to. It's cheaper than the. See, I'm writing all these other things. I keep running on all the pros and cons. Just focus on what we hear. Intelligent scheduling and routing. Intelligent schedule and routing. Factor in traffic. Skill sets. Parts availability. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Client windows. To optimize daily interactions. Client workflows to optimize daily interactions. Intelligent scheduling and routing. Factor in traffic. You know, because I was saying one of the things that is an unspoken achievement of me is that I always arrive on time. I know when to wake up, and I just always know when to leave. And nobody has a perfect record out there like I do. And that's because you have to think about that. I just know those skills to figure out how to plan, and that's a completely developed skill that goes just beyond the scenes, and nobody understands how valuable it is. Intelligent scheduling and routing, factor in traffic, technician skill sets, parts availability, and client windows to optimize daily itineraries. Interesting. That's why this is so helpful because it just brainstorms off and does so many other things, dependencies, predictive inventory and warehouse module. So funny. I ended up having this major inventory in my garage. So it leverage usage patterns, seasonal trends, auto replenish your 200K in toolkit, minimize stock outs. Oh, come on, Kev. Training and certification hub, micro learning modules. Come on, Kev. Every time I move the mouse, I kick it. Sorry, it's coming up. Training and certification hub, micro learning modules distilled from your Secret Service training curriculum, built to built as no code courses that certify junior techs. That's an interesting thought. Certified techs. Okay, I'm not going to critique. I'm just going to acknowledge what he said. Edge AI, offline mode, Edge AI, and offline mode on device LLM interface for disconnected sites. Yeah, that's interesting. Wow, that because that's the other thing that I ended up having this dream, and it's probably a long time to time it, but lately, was the last nightmare that I ever had. Never. Last nightmare I had was I woke up to the dream was all these people that were out running around killing each other, really violent, because all the houses were all messed up. And I asked why. Why is everybody so angry? And they said the AI radio station uh, repeated the same day of work over the same radio songs. And I thought, I woke up and I thought, oh no, all this dependency on AI, when it goes down, it's going to be catastrophic. And now I'm building all these dependencies into work, feeding this vision of my nightmare. there's such a balance between the old skill. I sound like an old fart. I'm 57, but it's so funny. The world is changing so radically fast, and that's why I'm here. I'm trying to get on the cutting edge of it and help people, but at the same time, it's like I'm creating dependencies. I'm not. One of the times that I started as a real estate photographer, and I had to read all these maps every single day to go out and find the house I was to take a picture of, and I created all these maps with all the stuff, but I had to use a paper map. And I remember when Google Maps came along, and I thought, oh man, this is really cool. And, and when I talk to people that are younger, they're like, paper maps, what are those? And it's like, oh man, this world is changing so fast. Okay, focus got remote data center. So Backley. So this is actually pretty big though. I need to focus on this. On service, LLM interference. All right, inference. Interesting. Wait a second. On device, LLM inference for disconnected sites. Remote data centers, industrial floors. So docs and so darks. Sorry. So dark. So docs and diagnostics go dark. Yeah, that's really a huge thing because when these things go down, right? This comes right. This was amazing on my nightmare was just before that. That's a funny thing. God reminded me of that. Okay, I'm back to just being overwhelmed. Oh, come on, Cav. Target customer and personas, MSPs and bars, service providers, and value-added resources who need, come on, Kev, who need to modernize. Yeah, boy, this is that right here because people have no concept of how to do this. Ah, that's my target. That's right, number one, too. It's freaking nuts because everybody's out there right now trying to sell services to help a business use AI. This is doing AI through the platform. This is accomplishing things completely different even than our current model. I mean, this was so everything is evolving so fast. Right now, I have this model of the tech and the support person that I've been doing just to survive. I'm uploading that, and I'm uploading all of the other people who are trying to integrate tech into what they do, or AI into what they do, modernize field ops and cut SLA breaches, service level agreement, SLAs are the core of any contract. If somebody breaks an SLA, they lose the contract, and that's a huge thing. One of the companies that I worked for was uh, Tip and Ring, and uh, they're with Wells Fargo Bank, and when they added something to me, they needed me to get to not Scottsdale, way in the mountains, and I literally had to leave within 5 minutes of the house. Just packed everything I could do. I got there like 5 minutes early. I had like a 2 hour drive through the mountains, and it's like, but I knew their whole contract was based on that because I've done so much work for them. I just stepped up and did it, and I lost like I think they paid most they could pay me was $200 to drive 8 hours. But I just stepped up and it's like, no, this is you need me to keep your contract. I'll keep going, and nobody sees that. Nobody cares about that stuff. Okay, focus, Kev. Target customers, MSPs and bars. All of a sudden, the blank on the M. Service provider is that, and the value-added resource. I'm a VAR. I'm the guy that adds value. Enterprise, telecom, and datacom teams. Enterprise. How do you sell those people? Okay, don't worry about that. Just stand what he says. Yeah, enterprise telecom, datacom teams, scaling deployments across hundreds of sites. That's exactly what it is. But boy, that is such a big deal. How do you even, well, stop analyzing, just enjoy, understand the idea. Because I see how I just start thinking all the popping all the holes in the balloon. Enterprise and telecom teams scaling deployments across hundreds of sites, facilities, and manufacturing operations requiring zero downtime installs and predictive maintenance. That is pretty amazing if you can do that. Well, I'm sure there's data out there that for mean to failure times. Technical staffing platforms, Field Nation and work market, seeking premium differentiators for their top talent. Interesting. Let me just say it again. Technical staffing platforms like Field Nation Workmark seeking premium differentiations for the top talent. Ultimately, I'm thinking about replacing him. Come on, I keep moving this up. Sorry about that. I think it's my thumb that's doing that. Business model monetization. Subscription tiers. Essentials. $49 per user planning engine and scheduling. Pro version. $99 inventory adds AI assist inventory module. Enterprise custom on-prem edge AI. Wow, I mean that is pretty amazing. Again, I haven't looked at anything else that's doing that though. Training hub, SLAs, SLAs, the service labor agreement, just to make sure that things are getting done on the business. It's overwhelming. Usage-based upsells, expedited emergency boat packs, premium support blocks, custom builds. I don't think I get excited right now about the dollars. I think it's helpful to see the concept of different models. I'm just trying to think about can I do it? But ultimately, this will pay for itself. So I'm not. I just am always thinking about okay, how am I going to do that? And the great thing about AI is that it will tell you. I can ask it to create a business plan, and the step by step to do that. It does. That's what's so freaking nuts. You just have to sit down and work it. Go to market and brand build. Founder story. And this is mainly to me personally on how I can go to market with this concept. Founder story campaign. I told him that I'm up at 3 at least every morning, and he keeps bringing that up. Video series, LinkedIn, YouTube, your daily discipline. I was actually trying to do that with the whole scripture reading stuff. Your daily discipline. The 22 systems are the things that I've developed just to be able to move. And it's how I do work on site. So this is all part of it. I'm just trying to understand what he said. Keep moving. Pivot. Pilot partnerships. Pilot partnerships. Engage 2 to 3 MSPs for beta documentation. ROI. Truck rolls. District coverage. My brain is like on overload. Thought, leadership, polish, planning form playbook, article. Interesting title for that. Planning form playbook. It's really clever. That's the other thing is I haven't talked to anybody. I've done all the work. I have all the forms. I can show you the evolution of them and why I developed that. But I didn't think anybody cared. Somebody does. It's just hard to know who. Community and newsletter, smart text, insider, case studies, script snippets, and invites early. Ah, come on. 7 months roadmap. Minimum viable product launch. Planning engine and scheduling. So you see why I want to make a video about this. I still have so much work to do. I'm just wanting to stop this so because I am trying to. I just want to make sure that number one, this video is recording and it's understood. Now I need to go back in, and my next step is to go back and just drill down, troubleshoot this stuff. I guess I just want to leave this as an hour long video. Sorry about that. I'm not expecting anybody to watch this unless I direct them to the URL because people aren't going to understand this. This is missing all the stuff that I was thinking about. That's why it's so good that this is the process I have to go through. It's just let him get to know me and then look at the market and then suggest something. And now this is a step by step is trying to just drill it down and create steppable action plans. Okay, I gotta stop. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate you.